online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Oh, now it's on?
Yes, it's on. We're on. Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to another Satisfaction After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. Tonight, oh yeah, little Rolling Stones action. Perfect for our
psychedelic episode.
Very psychedelic episode. And the Rolling Stones could tell us a thing or two about psychedelics, I think.
Yes, they could.
Right?
Indeed.
Tonight we're talking Season 2, Episode 8, titled Through Psychedelics. Ooh. I'm your host, Alison Dean. You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean. We have a special guest in-house tonight, Michelle DeShon.
Woo!
Back with us.
So exciting.
She missed us, clearly.
We missed her, clearly.
To my left, Blake V. Where can they find you?
That is me. I am Blake V. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
Lauren Salaun, where can they find you?
Hey guys, Lauren Salaun here. You can find me everywhere online at Lauren Salaun.
And Michelle, where can they find you?
Michelle DeShon on Instagram and DeShon Michelle Flip it for Twitter.
How psychedelic. All right, back to reality. Right?
Yes.
If not already subscribing, please hit that subscribe button right down below. And if you're listening to us on iTunes or SoundCloud, I'll just give a little like Kalila Boo Boo-ness happening on my microphone. Let's get sensual.
Yes.
Yes. Please give us the 5-star rating. Is that 5-star rating? Or a little Catherine Lanasa. Like,
Alison, you're doing so good.
Really?
Yeah.
Blake V, does it sound okay?
Sounds great. Khalil would be proud.
Khalil would be proud.
Do voiceover.
Whoa. Well, for
Sexy
you,
voice
for you,
over.
Michelle.
Like commercials.
For you, Michelle. So when you were here last time, there was a lot that you couldn't say.
Yeah.
Because
well, I think I accidentally did say things because I couldn't keep the episode straight. Like, I think I was like, that does not what that means. Oh, wait, we don't. I think I gave away some stuff last time.
I don't think enough where...
No, I think I caught myself. I think it was just the whole time I kept looking at you like, ugh,
like, crap, did I just...
say that?
Yeah. Nothing got in our way,
No,
though.
good.
There were no, everything
nothing
was
bad.
just fine.
Yeah, everything was fine. So this episode, we start off, and they give us a whole, like, psychedelic montage.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle loved it. I was a little more...
Starting off with Simon. And we were like, oh, he's also having a psychedelic
Smoking
day.
the rock candy?
Yeah. Something.
Didn't it look like rock candy, kind
It
of?
does.
Although I guess it all kind of looks like rock
I'm
candy.
pretty sure that's what it actually was.
Was it really?
I think they actually used rock candy, yeah.
I mean,
But,
it's the closest
okay,
looking
we had an
thing.
argument because we were saying that we're like, it looks like rock candy, but then we looked up like images. It actually, I mean, it really does. It looks ridiculous, but that's how it really
It looked
looks.
very
Truly. It's
sugary.
like neon orange. That's what it was.
Amber.
Amber.
By the way, hashtag it's ladies' night in here.
I know.
It is.
I don't know why I looked up.
You're like, there's another ladies right
more
next
ladies.
to me. The ladies are all
everywhere.
around. Although Khalil would have still fit right in.
Yeah.
He might have liked it better. Just saying.
He may
Probably
have.
would have. Yeah.
All right, so Michelle.
I'll be in the booth all alone.
Oh,
That's
James.
fine.
We love you, James. Although you're not in the studio, so technically it's still ladies' night inside
Right,
this
right.
room. But we
in
still
your
love you.
ears,
You're
James
honorary.
is our token gentleman.
James is holding down the man fort. The figurative man fort. I don't know.
Is that dirty?
I don't know.
Sounds like
That's
it is.
okay if it is, actually.
I know, like,
this would
It's
be
the right setting for it, so
Exactly.
This
we're in
is
good
the
company.
appropriate show for dirtiness and for psychedelics. Okay, so back to it. This montage happens. What did you think about the opening montage?
I felt like it was really long. The whole psychedelic trippiness. I liked that we went there, but I felt like it went on for
A while.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, I feel like the episode's almost over, and they've just been tripping out the whole
Still
time.
on the psychedelics.
what did you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. It definitely set itself apart, this episode, from the rest of the season.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
It was going to be a very different experience
Yes.
than what we've come to know.
I agree. And then we transition to the Dome Addiction Center. which
I
was like,
yes.
what's this guy Julian up to?
Hey,
His-
Julian.
doling out his
Well, he thinks his drugs are gonna cure
Drugs?
the side effects of other drugs.
Yeah, which was great. I mean, what
That
a
is
great
wackadoodle.
theory. Get people off drugs by doing more drugs.
I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense in the sense of, well, okay, I'm like,
I mean, that's how they treat some.
tell us,
drug
Alison. Tell us
addictions
how it makes
with
more sense.
Other drugs.
It's like you quit smoking and you take up coffee or
Right,
something.
that's-
It's just extreme. It's very extreme. I don't know how
Yes.
safe his
You quit meth
answer
and you
drugs.
take up ecstasy.
Yes. That's really that's a good
Habit
that's a good
substitution.
Scale.
It's like heroin and methadone.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that's what I
precisely
was
what it
saying.
is.
You know, there are. That's what I was. Exactly
Makes
what I was
perfect
saying about
sense to me.
Precisely.
Other drugs
Perfect.
to treat drug addiction.
Blake initially thought that where the warehouse area, lab area was Simon's apartment, but Michelle has informed us, in fact, this was not the case.
Yeah.
the
Because
same
remember when
setting?
we went
Yeah.
to Simon's apartment
Very
in like
loft.
episode 1 or 2? Mm-hmm. It was a loft and there was the brick exterior
Right.
and it was kind of like dingy alleyway,
Industrial.
kind of industrial. So was the lab. It looked like it
Because
was the same place.
We did learn, I think, from Catherine that they use, the same set for multiple
Yes.
scenes a few
Yes.
times.
Very budget
Could
friendly.
have been. But
Well,
actually-
we did use the same studio. It just wasn't. We just used an empty little section of it. We didn't actually use.
This will be the
Simon's
lab!
apartment.
right.
I think
Yeah,
that
well, I
makes
mean, we
sense.
were eating lunch in there for a while, and then they were like, "Get out! We're gonna use this for our lab.
We're
for
filming
drug
here,
lab."
people.
Gotta make drugs.
I don't know why they talk like that. Everybody, get out!
Get out of here. We're bringing the drugs in.
I feel like you need like a cane or something.
Bring in the drugs.
Oh, boy.
We'll be here all week. Okay, so the next scene that happens where Grace and Neil are talking to Adriana about where you are, I actually felt really bad for Adriana in this scene, and I don't know how everyone else felt, but Grace was going off, like, I can't believe the kind of person you are, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh my god, the woman just gave your daughter $22,000 and didn't even tell her, and really, I think, is a caring soul on some twisted level, and I was just a little upset with you, Grace. I was.
I mean, and that's how I was feeling last week with Adriana opening up and like bringing Annika in. I was like, no, I think it's coming from a real place. And obviously, she always kind of has something going on behind the scenes, so you never really know. But I feel like it's very genuine. And even in when she was tripping out, and you have that like daughter moment, like, is there something to that?
Yeah.
I just feel like
Well, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
Yeah, and as much as I love Catherine Lanasa, I just feel like for Adriana, I can't take her serious in any sort of legitimate, caring sort of scenario.
I think she pulled it off so well. I was like,
I mean,
Tell us, Michelle.
I feel like that's the whole point. Is it's like Adriana actually opens up a little bit, and somebody gets to her. And I mean, Annika is the only one that she didn't try and manipulate. And she really was trying to be good. And yeah, I actually love that scene because Grace is, being rightfully so, and being like a mama bear and freaking out, and then Adriana's over there like getting emotional, and it's like, oh god,
I was like,
you're so misunderstood.
misunderstood.
like when she said, "Stop trying to steal my family." I was like,
yeah, my life and my family, and just, well, your life keeps showing up on my door.
I know. That was so
I was
good.
like, Zing, you tell her. She's being mean to you.
Stand up for yourself, Adriana.
seriously. So last week when you were inside Adriana's closet,
Yes.
was that fun?
Yeah. I mean, it was
her closet?
Well, that whole like thing of I got to because basically the whole show I'm wearing Birkenstocks and
Right.
overalls and like weird hippie things, which was so much fun. But then it was like for an episode I got to have a completely different wardrobe, and I have to say I tried on several dresses, and the power of Adriana I think comes from her wardrobe because I would put on these like heels and these like very contour dresses, and I'd be like, I can run this town.
We were so envious. We were like,
Always.
oh, we want to be Annika right now.
No, wait. Did they
Just
just
shopping in her closet.
Did they stock that closet just for that episode, or is it does it normally look like that? Does it have shoes in it and stuff?
Yeah, because we film in a person's real house. And so, I mean, obviously they put in some clothes, but I think some of them in there are just, you know, the ones you don't really see are this woman's real
These people are
things.
just ultra fabulous.
Then I legit critiqued that closet because I was like, there's not enough shoes in there.
They're way too close together.
No, I said they're not close. I was like, there needs to be
close.
more.
Oh.
More.
Shelves.
Mistake.
Yeah.
There was like a whole wall of shoes.
Not enough.
I
Ask Blake. I have very...
She's got some high standards over here.
Did you ever see my shoe wall or
No, I saw just
A
your
photo of
clothing
it?
in your
Oh.
room. No, I'm not even aware of your shoe layout.
Oh.
So for you to critique the
habit.
shoe situation and think that the shoes need to be closer, I'm almost a little concerned.
Concerned?
Yeah.
You should be. You should.
I'm
Rightfully
very
so.
curious.
Very
It
curious.
is a dream of mine one day to have a full room that the walls are just areas for my shoes to be on display.
What about a
dream come
sunglass
true.
closet
I
as
have
well?
a small like
that?
situation like that in our closet, but
Michelle's like, what is happening right now to this episode?
I don't think
Tell
I
us
own
your dream
I
closet,
don't think
Michelle.
I own enough shoes. This makes me want to go shopping. I don't own enough shoes to have a wall.
We'll periscope that adventure.
One day. Yes.
One day.
One day. That's the goal, is to have a wall of shoes, but I don't have enough shoes currently to weigh in.
It's
on
okay.
this.
It's a good
there are
goal.
probably like
good goal.
other more important goals though.
I think it's a
I
very
don't know.
good goal.
It's a good goal.
Personally.
But I can't. I mean, I'm not there yet, so.
Yeah.
It's all right. You will be.
Yeah, my trouble is like a storage solution. I have lots of things and no decent place to put them.
All right, well, moving on from shoes to dead bodies,
organization.
to charred dead bodies, let's talk about that. Simon goes to, it seems, okay, so at this moment, I didn't know if he was still in Argentina or if these bodies had been shipped back into the States at this point. And I was trying to figure out, I feel like the men that were working around him were speaking English and not Spanish, so I was thinking, but then again, I don't know, because Omar showed up, and I'm like, wait, are you, I don't know, I was confused. What did you all think?
That didn't even cross my
me
mind.
neither.
The
I
location.
was just like, well, duh.
I mean, I think he's back in the States, but honestly, I don't think it matters. You
No,
can
it doesn't really
choose
matter. I was just
where
being-
you want it to be.
Yeah. Oh, it's like a choose your own adventure.
Choose your own
Thank you,
adventure.
satisfaction.
We'll go with the U.S. of A that they
Okay.
were in, and Simon gets into one of the coffins, the wooden coffin,
The crate.
the
Dead
wooden
person
crate.
shipping compartment.
The
The
shipping.
dead person crate.
That's, I think, what it is.
Yeah.
And sees that it's a charred body. I mean, like full on.
Okay, can I just say I had
Yes.
I had a reminiscent moment of when he went to the golf course to accost the
Yeah.
dad's doctor, and he like had the club and he was just like, no, this is how it's gonna be, and they all just listened to him. So here he is in this place that I'm sure is like high security. There's like bodies and things,
And he's just like.
he's like, no, crowbar, like stay out of my way, and everyone was just like, okay,
Don't go near that
go
guy.
right ahead.
He seemed pretty angry. I'd
Yeah.
let him do it too. I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah,
you
no
do
messing
you.
with this guy.
If you want to see the charred body, by all means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Simon was displeased, obviously, when he saw that his daddy was...
displeased.
He was very unhappy
A
and
good
sad.
scream. He's a good screamer.
Great screamer. Oh, yes.
Excellent
So my
screaming.
first thought
Good job, Blair.
is, I'm sorry, charred body. Then I'm like, duh, it's a fake.
That's what
That's
I
exactly
thought.
where I went. And we
Yup.
only saw one, right?
Yes.
Well, there's two
Well,
boxes
well,
there.
obviously we know it's a fake anyway, but...
Right. But at that
We
moment,
didn't burn anybody for the. No humans were harmed.
Well, no, but not in that sense, but just with
that
what we...
too, though. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes, it
we were
wasn't a
concerned.
real charred body, but also
We had
not
all...
his dad.
Yeah, we all
Yes.
were basically saying...
I was like, well, duh, it's not his dad.
No.
'cause they
Well,
did
he doesn't
that.
know. That's. I mean, he opens up Emma's box.
Oh, I thought he opened up Arthur's.
I did too.
I thought it was labeled Arthur.
I might be wrong.
Okay.
I thought he looked at
regardless-
both of them and he opens up Emma, and that's why he's screaming because he's
Either
in love
way,
with
if
Emma.
it was Emma, it's still so charred that they're like, well,
You
we
could
can't
never tell it.
the
Right.
remains,
I mean,
It was a very
you know?
indiscriminate looking.
So I still don't buy that either of them are dead.
No.
well,
Well, obviously.
to be continued.
Right.
no, I know.
To be
Yes.
continued. Well,
Yes.
we're still going with all that. They're not dead. Okay, so Grace and Neil, because of Adriana, figure out where Julian's camp is, his psychedelic camp. They go in, they very nonchalantly just break into his Airstream, like...
It's an
Like,
Airstream. I don't
welcome
think
in.
it's that difficult.
There you go. I mean, how much
just
security
like-
can you have on the
Which-
Airstream?
Fun little story. That
Yes.
Airstream was one of our camera guys, real camper. He that's where how he like travels around and he goes from project to project and he loves his Airstream and so
that's
he camps in there
exciting.
and they were like, Can we
use
rent this from you?
Wonderful.
Airstreams are
For the right
badass.
price.
They're
Yeah,
badass
it's
and they're
great.
like sort of hard to come by, like authentic
Yes,
ones.
yes. I think that's why they were like, you have one. Like,
Amazing.
and so, yeah, he had to move out and live in a hotel for like a
Nice.
couple weeks so we can use this
We're
camper.
filming in here.
That's awesome.
I love when people can have things utilized in a harmonious fashion. Okay, so Annika then breaks into Adriana's, so it's like a whole episode of breaking and entering and doing deceptive things.
Yeah, I love it.
Oh,
Yes. Oh.
I'm like, she is
Tell us
still
all
being a
about it.
little brat. I'm like, what is, come on, girl.
Yeah. So how did you feel about this sort of twist in Annika's character? Number one, going to Adriana for like help and solace and all of this, and then
F
now
you,
like taking
Adriana.
advantage of
Yeah.
the situation.
I really like it because I think it allows Annika to actually go somewhere. You see her being so affected by Julian, and I think that's a really, she's young and impressionable, and he's older and wiser, and she thinks
and he has an accent.
he has an accent. And so, I think it's just, I think it's great. And not great. For Annika, that's not a good thing to be doing. But story-wise and character-wise, I think, you see her totally in love with him and under his spell, and she's going to do whatever he says, and it's going to take something to
I have a
snap her.
sidebar question. Okay, so basically you're surrounded by men on set with all fabulous accents, kind of, in a way.
Yeah.
Now, okay, wait a minute. So, Julian, Daniel Bonjour, he is really South African, but he was playing a Brit, right? Or was
Yeah.
his character was not South African, his character was British.
Right. Yeah.
So was he able to, like, how was he turning that on and off? Because the South African accent is
Very
different.
different.
Well, actually, the South African accent, he didn't.
It's
He,
similar.
yeah, because.
Oh, he didn't
English-
change it.
Well, when he really speaks, he sounds American, honestly, because he said he worked really hard to get rid of his accent. But he does, like, if you listen to certain words, he has a kind of like English twinge, because I guess I'm gonna sound like stupid if I mess this up, but like South Africa, there is
Yes,
some,
yes,
there is-
colonized by the British.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there
yeah,
is
yeah.
English. Speaking
Completely, yes,
accented
yes.
people
English
there.
roots, British roots.
So he doesn't actually sound like that in real life. He sounds very American, except for a couple
Interesting.
words, and then I'm like, but it's also why he's very good at going into the full accent is because he was around it a lot.
I love the
He
South
would say
African
things
accent.
like,
Me too.
"I'm gonna go get my car out of the garage."
Yes.
Right?
Yes, just a couple words
Just a couple
where you're
words.
like, you messed that one up.
Oh, you must
You
be
messed
from
it up.
South Africa. Ah, yes.
I also thought, okay, so when you break into Adriana's and you have your video zoomed in.
Genius.
Who would have thought to do
Genius.
that? Yeah.
Technology is just very advanced in satisfaction. The zoom on our cameras.
Yeah,
just
I don't think
perfection.
realistically you could snag
Of course, no.
I don't care if it
combo
was
lock
realistic
that
or not.
way.
That was my favorite part of the episode.
I know.
I was just like, she's like a detective. It's genius. Loved
She's
it.
a smart cookie, yeah. and her phone has superpowers. I think it's
That's
like
what I was
it's
thinking.
like government grade.
Yeah, yes.
Focusing and zooming capabilities.
That's what I was
Well,
thinking.
I mean, I
Also,
think
like,
go
being
ahead.
able to see it enough but not be
Well,
seen
you
yourself.
see it on the phone and it's like perfectly clear.
Yeah.
It is like
Right.
HD on that. Yeah.
Perfect.
And the angle in which her hand is like twisting the thing is just like boop, fully in view.
Yeah, full view.
Full
yes.
view.
Could not be more convenient.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting though that you didn't then, when Rosalie went downstairs, I thought it was interesting that you didn't then go into the safe and that you were like, Julian, here, you do it. I have this information for you now. You'll have to now break into Adriana's, even though I was just there, a few hours ago and I could have done it.
I think she gets scared off. I think she thinks Rosalie's gonna come back or somebody's gonna hear it. And I think also maybe it's like part of her is like, I don't want to. It's like you don't want to be the one to pull the trigger.
Yes.
She's like, I don't want to be able to say that like I stole something. So like I'll just let him do the dirty work.
Well, and she said it too. She was like, "This made me super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Do not put me in that position again."
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
could totally see her being like, "Ooh, I don't want to be here."
And then he puts her in that
Run
position
away.
again.
Yeah, essentially.
Scapegoat.
Which was very interesting because I had this sort of prediction last week where I was like, "Oh, I think that Julian really might be."
Shiesty?
So shiesty, but I mean,
Well,
obviously.
duh.
But taking advantage of Annika and making Annika do the dirty work and like sending her out for these jobs. Like, oh, go back to Adriana's now and get what's in the safe and get, all just whatever. So
Brainwashed her with love and sending her out to con
it was the
people.
Simon method. Remember
Did
from
you-
last week?
Simon method.
Okay, we need like a behind the
a jet.
scenes. We need some intel. So, because we didn't really get any of like heavy makeout sessions with you and Mr. Julian. But did it happen really and then that was just all cut out?
There was like, I mean, we never filmed a scene where I actually got to kiss him. But there was like a scene where like you see me getting out of his bed and kind of thing that was cut. But I mean, they are definitely together, and they're definitely
We wanted to see a little more.
What?
We wanted to see a little more.
I mean, we see.
I mean,
She's like, I wanted to show you a little more.
I was pretty surprised myself. I mean, even going in, I remember having like talks and being like, oh, like, yeah, like, or talking about how far or whatever and what their relationship is. And I was like,
Michelle's like, let's do it.
well,
let's
because
do
last
this.
season,
You did a lot.
And, you learn Annika's on birth control and all of this stuff.
Right.
And then, when I first found out that there, it was kind of like a culty drug thing, I was like, oh my God, she's going to
get naked.
Some orgies or something. I mean, with this show, you don't know. So, and then it never happened, and I was like, oh, all right.
Personally, I think I would have added to the whole scenario because we didn't really see how close Annika and Julian truly were for this whole like manipulative relationship. So if we had seen like some steamy love scenes or something that implied a little more like physical.
Yeah, I would have loved to like get into the cult thing and see what that vibe really was like.
I think we would have needed 12 episodes for that.
Yes.
I almost feel like it would have made things feel a little too far, almost, because we already see her being very manipulative with everybody at this point. So I don't know if seeing like, because she's still her like little baby Annika on the show.
No, Annika's getting older.
She is, and she's being rebellious and stuff. But I almost feel like seeing that too, all thrown in, and want to be like, well, this girl. Like I get like momish about Annika.
Momish. I'm not momish. I'm down for Annika's experimentation.
Down for
her
Annika
darkness.
To get down.
Yeah.
You're down for Annika's darkness. For me, I was a little because there's so much about the character of Annika from season 1 where you're very much ahead of your time, I think, and more mature. So the fact that you were making the decisions you were I should say your character was making the decisions, not you exactly, Michelle. It surprised me because I didn't think it was really your character to do that. I thought it was a little like, you're too smart for this guy and for this environment, and I get it, exploring and da-da-da-da-da, but I still was like, she's too smart for this stuff.
Well, I think, I think she's very mature for her age, which is, why she was totally fine going off and doing festivals and everything.
Yeah.
But then I still think, at 17, her dad giving her a wad of cash, and it was just, she's not that mature, and she did get, and, Julian he's not like some, idiot who started, he's a very intelligent, persuasive man, and
clearly.
Yeah,
I think it was
was just too much for her.
Because love does cookie things.
I think it was the incense.
Especially.
Well, and she just had her heart broken.
Yeah.
Mateo or whatever, like he had her heart was broken.
Yeah, that's true.
Rebound.
Well, and maybe that's. I think also that's just her thing. With Mateo, like she was ready to leave her parents. Last season, she threatened emancipation, and I'm gonna leave with him and go play music and stuff. And
really
the things
that.
she does she just when she falls in love, I think she falls.
hard.
I know.
She falls hard, and she'll do a lot of stuff.
A little trend coming up with Annika and the boys makes her.
I like it.
A little rebellious.
She's ready to
I do
throw
like
caution to the wind for love.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it. I like it too.
I like it. Well, so Neil and Grace, they find Julian's lab. Neil goes balls to the wall ballistic and totally just destroys everything. How many takes did that require? Because I was thinking of all the breaking and pushing and whatever.
That's
was
a lot
that
of
one
setting
take?
back up.
No, I think they did it 3 times, and it was so much fun actually because they would. The props they have like crates and crates of glass that they're like prepared, and they're like, all right, reset, and everybody rushes out and is sweeping, and I was there that day, and it was fun because I would like pick up the glass that had already been crushed, and I would like take it and like just break it like I'm the Hulk or something. I think they had enough glassware for like 3 takes.
Okay,
That's good.
I wonder which one they actually went with though. If it was like 1, 2, or 3.
Right. It was the first one all along.
Yeah, right.
But it was very like everybody was like, we can only do this 3 times.
He seems so like when Matt Passmore was like doing everything, it was like with extra gusto to make sure it all came off.
Yeah. He was making sure it all broke.
Yes.
We must break all of this. So then I was a little confused because Rosalie decides to call Grace and tell her that it was Adriana's money that was given to Annika again. which I was like, why would I didn't like that connection was never made for me. I don't know how you all felt about
she
that.
Went that way. Yeah, I don't know if it's trying to kind of repair that relationship in some sense.
Oh, because
like,
because
air, maybe.
Adriana seems so affected by everything, like Grace's evilness.
You guys were saying Grace was really mean to her, and Rosalie, I think, likes her boss. They've got, I'm sure they're sleeping together or something. Like they've got some connection.
Something.
Well, she also, Rosalie is, you know, her right-hand woman, I guess, and helps kind of manage the business and manage Adriana. So, yeah, her life, exactly. Coach. So if this could potentially be something that's really like causes, you know, stirs the waters, stirs the pot a bit, you know, she wants to keep things cool. And I think coming clean about it was the best way to do that.
I agree.
Because, you know, even when Annika showed up at the house, she's like, are you going to call her parents? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, because so she's looking out for Annika, or for Adriana as well, and I think trying to keep things
smooth it all out.
up, smooth
things out. So, yes, that basically after that call, there's never enough time. After that call, Grace runs over and has a whole convo with Adriana, and they make amends, and it was all lovely. I felt my heart was warmed for that portion of the episode.
Like while or right after Adriana's having like a three-way with these two.
I know.
Guys.
I think I've had enough for one afternoon.
What are you doing
It's an
right
average
now?
day for her.
Here, like,
It is.
Yeah.
It's
Here
just
right
like,
now.
you know, it's her 3 o'clock appointment every day.
Like, you called me. That's why I'm here. What are you doing?
And then she's like, I'm gonna go have lunch. You can join me if you want.
I actually love that when she's like, Rosalie made empanadas.
I love that too, actually. I was like,
really
did she
good.
really? I'll
Like,
take one.
I want to live there. Like, it's
I
like there's
know.
always food and pools and
Beautiful clothes and men.
it's
and,
empanada day.
It's always nice when there's a good
Wonderful.
empanada.
God.
All right,
Life.
Julian finds his lab all messed up, and Annika's there, and basically he tells Annika, you cannot talk to your parents anymore. It's me or them.
He's a little scary.
He was a little scary.
A little scary.
I thought so. And then basically we can tell he has an idea. He shows up at Adriana's house, and he is holding some incense.
He was armed.
And he has a proposition for everyone, but really he does not, essentially. He just wanted to drug everybody around.
Oh man, I thought so much was funny with this whole scenario.
Yeah.
I did too. Like he's like, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, and no one thought I'm gonna watch this guy because he's.
Why are we letting him roam
Precisely.
around by
I mean, I
himself?
know you guys said it, but I
Yeah.
think it's more like Annika's, this is her first time seeing her parents. Her parents need to talk to her, and I'm sure they want to talk to her without him whispering in her ear and manipulating her, and just nobody really wants him there, so they're kind of like, go to the bathroom, we'll talk to her.
But where was Rosalie? Rosalie should have been like, yeah, let's go to the bathroom.
I'll
Rosalie
escort
would have kept an eye.
Because I'm thinking of it in terms of Adriana's house, and like this rando just comes in, this druggy rando, and I'm like,
With incense.
I don't want you walking around in my house.
But you also wouldn't jump to the conclusion that he has the combo to the safe, you know? So you'd probably be like, oh, whatever. What's
yeah,
he
but I
gonna
would
do?
still think he might like steal things or
'cause he's
do
such a
weird
little
things
slime ball.
Or burn incense everywhere.
right? And so that was so funny too. Is like he comes in and he nearly gets killed by Neil, and he's just like, no man, this is what Annika was afraid of, the violence. Like let up,
Chill out. Let me burn some incense.
Yeah, and then so they're like, all right, let's all talk.
Good South African accent.
Thanks, I tried. It was like South African trying to be American. I was trying
good,
to
it was good.
do really like him.
A double accent.
Exactly. And then he's just like, let me just whip out this incense. I would be like, are you out of your mind? Put the
get out
damn
of
thing
here.
out right now. I'm gonna
Well,
slap
I think
you
they
again.
are a little. I mean, Neil's giving him threatening looks, but by that point, like Annika's not there when he first lights
That's
it. So I
true.
think, I mean, Grace like holds him back to be like, don't kill him until we get our daughter.
Okay, so really this was all a covert ops, though. He told Annika to come in at like a certain moment, or
Actually, I don't think he did, because we talked about this, that because when Annika runs in, he's like, I told you to wait in the car, darling, or whatever.
And at first I thought it was a surprise, and then I was like, oh, it was planned to make it seem that way.
No, I think it really was a surprise for her. I think she was supposed to wait in the car, and so Daniel and I talked that I think Julian really did love Annika, and his plan was to still be with her, and that he was going to steal the drugs and drive off, but he kind of knew that as soon as she walked in, she was going to get drugged, because she's she's inhaling the incense. And she's probably, done it a lot over the past few months with him, but that once her parents saw her, that she was never going to get to come back with him. And so we I'm not sure if you really saw it, but we had this thing where when he leaves to go to the bathroom, he does this long look at her I know you're not gonna ever leave. I know you're not gonna, I'm not gonna see you again. Because it's he would like to have them both, but between his drugs and Annika, he's got to pick the drugs.
Yeah. But I also thought that you wouldn't give up your parents for that either. I didn't think enough had happened. I mean, there's been a lot in terms of your storyline with your parents that even though things were weird, I don't think it was weird enough. Well, I don't think you really knew enough of what was going on to be like, I can't ever talk to you again.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't think she would give them up because she's mad at them. I think because she did when she wrote that letter to them. She was like, I found a new family. I think it's him, and I think if she did end up going with him, eventually she would realize he's crazy and get the sense to leave or whatever. But I think at first, that was her plan, that she was gonna leave with him.
And she's being a rebellious, dramatic
young
teenager.
Soul.
Yeah, like a young kid,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You say stuff when you're young that
You just say
don't
stuff.
really mean.
I know. You just say it.
Especially to your parents.
Especially.
Yeah, definitely to the
Sorry,
parents.
Mom and Dad.
So he hightails it out of there, leaves Annika, sadly, and then everyone goes on a crazy psychedelic trip because of this weird new breed of incense that he's developed, which that was fun for all of us.
I felt it was so
like sorcery.
Dark
it was like
magic.
magic.
It really was sorcery.
They put it in the water. What? And then everyone's like, or they released the smoke. It totally brought me to Batman.
Yes.
For some reason.
I want to know, because Blake brought this up, there was a lot of koi fish in each, well, I don't know if there was any in Grace's, but definitely in Neil and Adriana, there was a lot of koi fish references. Was there anything about the koi fish that you know?
I think that painting has koi fish in it.
Right.
Koi fish must mean something. What do they
must,
mean?
yeah.
What do
I mean,
they
it's
mean?
lucky.
We should know this. Yeah.
It's a
Koi
lucky
fish
thing.
become dragons.
Oh,
exactly.
That helps
anything.
my favorite part of the psychedelic
Thank you,
trip
James.
was when Grace was calling out with Annika's lunch and holding the sex paddle.
Yeah.
You forgot this?
And I do a dramatic look, I just look
I
at her
got really confused.
Do it again.
and
exactly
get
how
on the
it
short
was. That
bus.
was so good.
Yeah.
I had multiple questions during that time because I'm like, this isn't really happening, right? Because one, what kind of freaking sandwich is she making?
Yes.
Thank you. I said
It's
that.
a trip. It's not real life.
I know. I'm like, who makes that crappy
exactly what
American
Alison
cheese
said.
and that
Bologna.
weird bologna
That's
together in one container?
No
and
mayo,
that's all
no
you
nothing.
make.
Nothing.
And I'm like, wait, that's the sex paddle? It threw me off. I was like,
It's so weird.
It was so weird.
I actually got a little nervous with what Adriana was doing, walking out into the water and stuff, because you don't know, what...
Is she was she suicidal? Did you think so?
But unintentionally.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure what was happening. I was like, is she going to accidentally drown?
Right.
So I was getting really nervous.
That's interesting.
And in Grace's moment where all the women were reading the book, The Ties That Bind, the bondage book, what was there any further sort of meaning and plan into that?
Well, the ladies in the book are the
women?
same ladies from her book club, which were in season 1, and
They were like, yes, we're coming back.
Now sit here and read this book.
and read this book.
And don't say anything.
The same thing we did a year ago. I don't know. I think it's just a weird trip, and all of her tame book friends are reading this bondage book.
Like a window
past
into her
life
life
and
now.
current life.
Yes.
Coming together.
And then we see if maybe Adriana has a daughter, maybe she doesn't, maybe it's her as a kid and she ran away, which would explain a lot of now she runs a whole escort business.
It's a great thing about trips is you don't have to explain anything.
Nope.
You just
It's
throw
just
a bunch
what
of stuff in
comes
there.
to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what comes to you. We also find out that you get a scholarship to Rand, a music scholarship, which I'm thrilled about. But that also means that I feel like we might not see you much more, which I'm like, no, I don't accept this. We don't know.
Who knows?
We don't know.
Who knows?
And then the big tell of this episode was Simon gets a call from his father.
Yes. Poor Simon. Gosh,
Where's
I
the
feel
dramatic
this-
music, James?
Oh my God, they have it!
Of course James has it. Ready to go.
I just feel so much for Simon. I mean, I feel like he puts so much heart into what he does, and even he's
He's just getting slapped
escort.
around all over the place.
Yeah, but he's
his
getting-
little heart.
right. He feels a lot. I'm feeling bad for him.
I feel bad. I
He's got
also
a lot of stuff going on.
do you
does.
think it's totally adorable that Simon and Neil are BFFs now?
Yeah, they got a little bromance. I think it's cute. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it, and it's very strange to me.
But I don't know. Guys are weird. Like, think about like football players. They want to kill each other on the field, and then when the game's over, they're like, "Hey, man, I love you." And I'm like,
butt taps.
Now you're
really intimate
football.
positioning.
It's true. Very intimate.
Yeah. They love each other. They can let the past die.
Do we have other questions before we do predictions? Do we have other questions? I know you're.
I have one funny question that I'm sure everybody else would like to know, because we were talking about this before, and I got a kick out of it. So when everyone was smoking las drogas.
Oh, right! This is a good one, yes.
What exactly was it? Because you guys weren't really getting high.
No, we were not really getting high, but they put I asked them, I was like, what did you put it pack in the pipe?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we just put like a bunch of like stuff, like literally like table
like
seasoned,
cilantro.
And they just packed a bunch of random like herbs in there and was like, yeah, there you go.
And you smoked some like
it was unpleasant.
herbs?
I don't suggest
some rosemary.
it was just like a mix of stuff. They're like, it's a ton of stuff.
It's just the cover story.
Yeah. The Italian blend.
Yeah.
The cover story.
All right.
Hilarious.
It was oregano.
We need to do predictions for, by the way, next week it's going to be a 2-hour finale. We're going to be doing episodes 9 and 10 together. It's 2 hours, because in studio we will have Matt Passmore, Blair Redford, Catherine Lanasa, and Grant Show will all be here.
Extravaganza!
It's
going to be intense.
Michelle was here for the prequel to the extravaganza.
The part 1.
She's starting the part A. Okay, so predictions real fast for
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Ooh.
We're not going to start with you, Michelle, because you already know stuff that happens.
Okay, yeah, you can't really predict things. Okay, I think we're gonna see Grace and Neil patching things up a bit, which we kind of obviously. That's
they're together now. You're like, did we see that?
Yeah, no, we saw like the verbal agreement, I guess. I don't think that Emma's dead either. I feel like she's not.
No.
I'm gonna say that. Stop it, you over here. I don't think she is.
All right.
I mean,
I
think that's where I'm staying.
You'll tweet us the rest of your predictions.
I'm thinking hard.
More to come. So I do think something has happened to Emma. I don't know if she's dead or not, but I think something has happened. I think that Arthur has like a very convoluted plan in the works. He had to get rid of himself for money purposes, whatever purposes. But he knows that Simon and Emma are doing whatever they're doing, and he's not happy about that. He's got some little nugget of badness in his soul. So he's trying to do something to harm Simon, I feel like, and I think it has to do with Emma. That's my opinion. So, yes, and then I also find it very interesting that we saw some sort of like threesome/foursome going on with like Grace and Adriana and like some man that I couldn't identify because the teaser was too quick for next week. Anyway, I was not expecting Adriana and Grace to patch up their issues so quickly. But alas.
No, I think that didn't surprise me based on everything that happened with Annika. Okay, I will say this. So the Neil and Grace thing, I think they're still going to ping pong based on just their fight in the lab, which I thought was weird. It was like, I hate you. This is all your fault. I love you again. And it was like instantaneous that they hated and loved each other again. So I think we're going to see that. I think Emma's dead. And, yeah, okay. And I think they're gonna be planting seeds for the whole escort business, because we haven't really gotten a lot of this yet. We've gotten a lot of conversation about it. So hopefully in episodes 9 and 10 they'll like patch all that jazz up. And we love you,
and
Michelle DeShon.
Michelle.
We love you, Michelle. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. There's never enough time, especially when we have a guest.
Yes. And a huge thank you to Michelle for joining us tonight. It was so exciting. Yay.
We were like all waiting for this episode too. Yes. Episode 8. When is it happening? Because Michelle's coming back. Anyway, I've been your host, Alison Dean. You can find me everywhere at the Alison Dean. Blake, where can they find you?
Yes, you can find me, Blake V, on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
Lauren?
I'm Lauren Salaun. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat at Lauren Salaun.
And Michelle DeShon.
Michelle DeShon on Instagram and Facebook, and flip it, DeShon Michelle on Twitter.
Everyone,
wonderful.
We're going to see you next week for our 2-hour finale of Satisfaction.
God,
I know.
It's almost done.
It's crazy.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.